我们是玻璃兄弟，我们现在在阿布达比。
嘿，我们在阿布达比干嘛呢？
阿布达比我们是来参加所谓的 Global Glass Show， 它是2天的活动，然后是全世界第2大的玻璃应用展。那其实今天有个最重要的目的，是因为弟弟呢，他会在接下来的大概10分钟之内呢，上台当我们的所谓的 Keynote Speaker， 他是今天的压轴演讲者。弟弟紧张吗
？OK 吧
？OK 吧？我们非常期待弟弟的演讲啊，请大家注意玻璃兄弟最新的技术。玻璃兄弟，加油！加油！
Distinguished guests, good morning and welcome to Global Glass Show 2023 Middle East, taking place in this beautiful city, Abu Dhabi. We are all delighted to have you all here today as we embark on a journey of exploration and sustainable innovation in the realm of glass. So first allow me to introduce our esteemed CEO, Mr. Tahir Abdul Bari, the driving force behind the TAG Group and the organizing team of this event. Mr. Tahir, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Winston and I'm the Vice President of Huasha Glass. So, brief introduction, Huasha Glass is a family-owned business and I am the 4th generation. And this company, Huasha Glass, has been 100 years old. So, in today's presentation, I will tell you where we are, who we are, what we do, and I would like to share about a little bit of trend of the glass market in Taiwan, Asia, as well as the digital transformation trend right now is happening. So since I'm the last one, hopefully last is not the least. Okay. Before we start, we are pretty well known in Taiwan. So if you have cell phone, put it on Google, search Huasha Glass. You'll see us, and by the way, the tall guy there, the picture, that's my brother, Richard. Thank you, right there. So, we are well known in Taiwan, and yeah. So, does everybody know where is Taiwan? Or, okay, good, nice, okay. Because it's so small on the map, so I just have it out. So, for us, we are located right next to China, south of Japan. And as you can see, we sell glass throughout the globe. That includes United States, Japan, Australia, Europe, and a little bit in the Middle East for cosmetic one. And as for history of Huasha, you must be interested. 100 years, what is it all about, right? So, my great-great-grandfather, in 1925, he established the company. And back then, it was called Hecheng Glass. And you can imagine, in 1925, in that era, he has been through a lot of stuff, including World War II, where Taiwan has the most impact. But then, he strived on, he survived. And at the beginning, in 1925, he worked on many glass products such as glass lamp and a little bit of handcraft family style of glass. And then start moving on to the 1980s era, where my grandfather and my father comes in. What they do, they transform the company into more automation. So before it was all handcrafted, and now we start moving to machinery. But then in that era, right? Because my great-great-grandfather, he owned the business, gave to his brother and son, and then as many family business, there's always crisis. So during that time, they split into different family, but but at the same time, it was a very struggle period, and there are a lot of stories going on. But I won't stress out here; that would be too much. We don't have that much time. But then it was a time that Huaxia Glass is striving. So they not only import into machineries and also start to explore international markets such as America and also China and Southeast Asia. And then moving on to the era of 2000 to 2020. So in 2008, the global financial crisis led to a lot of shortage order. But then back then I was still a student, and thanks to my father, he's just my great-grandfather, he survived and he thrived. So, and in 2013, we established a brand, C2C brand. It's called Aqua Soul, to not just moving away, just put more into our companies, not just for the B2B company, as well as the B2C company. And also we start do some R&D and implement some machineries such as cobots and start moving into the digital transformation world what we have right now. So in 2020, and we start to work with this company that develop AI, and also we are trying to catch up with the digital transformation trend, and also we are looking for more and more and more for the future generation. So that's a brief history. So what do we do? So as you can see, this, and this, though we consider ourselves as a glass manufacturer that make premium bottle for vast variety and smaller quantities. The reason that we're doing that is because there are many customers we see that they want to do things in glass, but most of the time, most major glass factory around the globe, they require a high MOQ for them. Although it is maybe not too high in general concept, but for those little customers, those are very large volume. So what we do, we serve them. We serve them to make special design, different quality, okay, we can talk. Or if you have something that you have no idea, we can build you from scratch. So some example over here, such as the pink on the left, is a perfume bottle that we built for some local store. They want to have some special design of bottles. And also we can make special shape of bottles such as Kava. It's a well-known whiskey brand from Taiwan, and it has multiple awards. And then as you can see, they have these square bottles that we made. We work with them, and then we come up with a concept. That's how we get these bottles. And also we do glass, like a whiskey glass, and diamond-shaped white rice wine. It's called 金门高粱. It's a very strong alcohol from Taiwan, and they have like anniversary, and we build that for them. And also the generals, like maybe like beer bottles, food and beverage, and also we do cosmetics, like small bottles, such as something as small as 5 ml, or we have even done 3 ml before. And in all kind of shape. So moving on, we can also consider ourselves as a service industry in glass. So Huaxia we define ourselves as a total solution provider. So if you have an idea, you have a product, we can give you the design, or if you have some sketch or drawing, we can work with you. Give you the complete package, including paper, accessories for all your product. This is the example I want to present. The one on the top is a local famous brand called 茶籽糖. So it's a tea oil healthy brand. So it has some product that they want to make the bottles like leaves. And we were like, okay, leaves. Okay, so what I do is we have this special curve, and we want to give them a feel of handcraftsmanship for this particular product. And then at the beginning, it was a lot of back and forth, talking about design, what works, what doesn't work. But eventually, it was a huge success and gave you a lot of value to this customer, Tazitown. And another example I want to give for Huaxia's capability is our own capability to design certain product. The one in the bottom is a personal decanter that is for our own B2C brand, Aquasol. And this decanter has multiple purpose. You can use it for storage, for wine, and also for aeration, for easy to carry. And in Taiwan, I remember in 2017 we won multiple awards, such as the Goping Award and also the Classic Design Award. So with all this, Huaxia Glass can do these specialty bottles, or if you want to do something regular, we can all do it. So moving on, so I have talked about Huaxia Glass. Let's talk about the trend in Taiwan first. So as you know, Taiwan is small, not big, right? But just some numbers. As of 2022, the total revenue for glass industry in Taiwan is 1,270 million USD. And as for container, that is for 293 million. May not sound a lot because Taiwan is a small place, right? And more analysis, internal sales percentage, fiberglass, because Taiwan is where they have a lot of advanced technology, and fiberglass is one of the most popular items in glass industry. It accounts for 36% alone in 2021, where containers only 27.8%. So that's the market trend in Taiwan. How about Asia in general? So for our projection, right, starting from 2022 to 2028, we will have steady growth, and that will grow to a total of 78.5 billion in US dollar. Well, it's a 4.5 growth in terms of CAGR, and despite over the past couple of years with COVID-19, we see things are going back slowly. So in Asia, there still has a lot of potential for glass industry to grow, especially container itself. And I think that's a good thing, definitely. And now I will move on to the digital transformation of what Huaxia believes and what we do, and just to shed a little bit of light on this topic. So in Huaxia, we believe whether if you want to introduce a new technology, new product, or new system, each step is very critical. And I believe there are three major things for you always to do. For you want to have a design, you want to integrate, and then you want to go on to operate. Because think about it, whenever you acquire a new technology, what do you want to do with it, right? You cannot just put it online. You got to test it, you got to analyze it to see if it really fits in your manufacturer side on your work, or on your work site, right? So in Huaxia, we believe that whenever we have a new technology, we need to have a systematic approach. So this design, integrate, operate is especially important. I think let me tell you about what it's all about. So design is like you break up all the things you do in your factory, on your line, into tiny little steps. You put those steps together, analyze it, and to see what is the most important and what is actually not. Because with the increasing technology, right, there are things that we do may no longer be necessary. So analyze it, look at it, and to see if all the steps is necessary. Once you analyze it, and you will put into different process, and when you have the process, you put it together. That's called integration. And the integration step, we believe that if you have all the steps together, you take out the initial unnecessary steps, you can test it to see if the process is working properly. So, but to what point you want to test it? For me, I think you have to sync up all the scenarios that may happen in your line, come up with different problems that when you put in this new, whether it's new technology or machinery on your line, because in factory, things happen, unexpected things happen. So you gotta put a scenario and test it. So for example, the picture you see right here, like that's the cobot that we put in our factory, right? And what the purpose is to put grab bottles into the box. It's simple, right? Sounds simple, but then when we realize that when the bottle is on conveyor line, there might be some issues like what if the bottle falls, or what if we catch a broken glass, right? The machine, is it smart enough to figure out? Or we need to provide some kind of program or algorithm for the cobot to be avoiding that unexpected situation. So in this integrate part, so you have to think maybe about just 80%. You can't cover everything. Trust me, you can't cover everything. Just 80% is good enough for you to test probably all the scenarios might be. And then you move on to operate. That's where you put the new technology on your line. And what you do with it, you test the rest of the 20%. That makes 100, right? Because, like I say, since there are so many unexpected things happen in factory, you got to be more patient with your new technology, right? It's not perfect all the time. You got to test the 20% on site. Now, then usually those are the things that you don't know, and once you encounter it, you improve it. And by having this 3-step, I believe any new technology, any new form of digital transformation, they follow the same concept, and that's what we believe. And then on the next topic, I want to talk about AI. And I think AI is something that is a hot topic in 2023. But then I will not go through the detail, but I will talk about the concept of having an AI, especially if we were to put it into the glass industry. I think everybody has to have this in mind. AI right now is not perfect. It needs to be tested, it needs to be evaluated. And so today, here I will have 6 steps for AI, for people to think about it. And I think it will be very useful, especially for the glass industry. So first is whenever I say you want to use AI for your company, what do? You need to think about what is the purpose of this AI. Define the question. So when you want to use AI, you can use it to analyze, probably monitor like maybe your energy consumption, your labor force, or your logistics within the company. But all of this, you can think of as like you're back in school, like a mathematical equation, right? What you're trying to solve is the answer, y equals function of x. And function of x is all the input you want to put in, y equals fx. So define this y equals to fx is the first step, define the question. And then move on to the second step, data. And that's why I put this slide as data thinking is the most important thing, because data is everything for AI. If you have bad data, you will get bad AI. If you have good data, you will get good AI. Simple as that. And then I think for the most part, like every factory, especially for glass factory, there are a lot of inputs. And do you want to use all the inputs? Probably no. So you got to clean the data. You got to understand, analyze what data is the most important before you put into the AI. And I think that's the most important step if we were to use AI in glass industry. And then once you have the data prepared, you can start modeling. You can generate AI models, and by looking at the data using data engineering, clustering, there are many tools available for you to make sure that data is good for your model. And then you generate a model. And after that, you process. What you do with the process is, as you go generate the models, right? You can use look at the characteristic of your AI and look at the graph, and also statistical tools will help you to understand the process. And then you move to evaluation, which I think is the second most important part. The most important part is the data, the second most important part is evaluation. Why? Because whenever you have a model come out, right, you want to check if the model is correct. So what do? You evaluate it. You evaluate by comparing to what's really happening in your factory or what's really happening in real life to see if the model is correct. And then you can maybe give the score and to judge if this model is something like close to the real thing. And after that, you do improvement. Because once you have identified and evaluated which model fits your company the best, fits your project the best, then you still need to do improvement. Well, it's kind of similar to what I said on the last slide in the operate part, because of course there are always room for improvement, especially for technology and digital transformation trend, because there are things that might come up new. You might have new data, and when things change, your model would not be sufficient. And I think that's the key for digital transformation to keep going. At last, I think we have been heard a lot. Then this is something I want to talk about, the ESG trend. Huaxia Glass is very focused on this ESG trend. For us, we have, for this year, we target to use 65% of recycled color in all our product. Why? Because we believe the long-term sustainable development is the key for the future, especially for the future generation. And also in Huaxia, like we believe DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion. What does that mean? That means we don't care what culture, what background, what race, and what you believe, what gender. We all treat you the same. You all participate with Huaxia Glass, and we work together. And at the same time, in Taiwan, we also work with the local government and to help underprivileged family, to help them to grow and to work with the community. Because I believe all this is for the future. And one thing I could take away from today is that I think everybody here all agree glass is the most sustainable material, right? Otherwise we wouldn't be here. So, since glass is the best environmental friendly material, then we should promote it, work with all the government. And even, I think all the glass company around the globe should let the people around them talk to the government to know that glass has the potential to be the future. It is what ESG to reduce carbon emission and also to prevent that what we see as a global rise of temperatures keep going, and that is the key. To use glass, we can make our future generation better. And I think that's all I have to share today. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, I would like to talk more about this, about Huaxia glass, and share with you. Thank you.